Matt Dunning, 5 days on from that victory over Toulouse. I'm guessing the camp is a pretty happy place to be at the minute.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's been a happy place to be all throughout pre-season and throughout the year as well. So yeah, the win at the weekend only aided that, but it's a good place to be.
There was some adversity and obviously coming up against a quality opposition. That second half showing were really comprehensive. So the fact they were 18-8 down, men down at a point, shows us character in abundance. That must please you no end.
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah, we've talked about being connected as a group and and digging in and buying in for each other, and we've made some commitments to each other through pre-season and at the start of the season as well. So it was really pleasing to see them commitments come out at the weekend, and I thought to a man, 117 contributed well.
Look at the players who weren't playing as well: Jack Walker, Bodine, Evans, Skur, Chester, Butler. It shows there's plenty of players waiting in the wings to come available. If they are available, come into the team. It shows the depth you've got in your squad as well.
Yeah, that's really true. Yeah, so we've got a squad that's hungry. We've got a squad that's all going in the same direction, and we've got healthy competition as well. So we're really happy with that. As it's no secret that we're still on the lookout for a couple as well. And yeah, that's only going to add to that competitiveness and drive standards and behaviours and performances.
Now looking ahead to Monday, it don't get any easier. Obviously a trip to Featherstone on Monday night. How do you approach the game? Is it a case of you just focus on yourselves, becoming even better as a group?
No, I don't think we change much to what we normally do, Luke. So we give every team that we play against the respect they deserve. We'll have an in-depth look at the last 3 games that they've played and see what we can pick out of that. We'll show that to the players, but then after that we'll focus on being the best version of ourselves. So that's the process for tonight, and then after tonight it's all about us.
And then those as a group, just touching back on Toulouse slightly, those who didn't play, those who aren't available at the minute, you mentioned they were a real key part of that, of the past 2 weeks really. How important is it to have those who aren't playing buying into that culture if you've still got a role to play?
Yeah, exactly right. There's, whether you've got a squad number or you haven't, the way we run our group here is that the reserves and the first team train together for the vast majority of the week. So it's all about being the best teammate you can be, which then adds to the guys that are playing and makes it a real group effort. So you'll see on the weekend there's reserves boys jumping up and down, and we're delighted that we've won the game, and it's really important that they feel that, they feel the connection of that. But then if they're not involved the following week, their job is to be the best teammate they can be. And put some pressure on the guys with the shirts to make sure that performances are what they need to be as well.
When approaching a challenge like a Featherstone on a Monday night, for example, how important is it to be as battle hardened as we are? We've had 3 or 4 really good battles early on to start the season. So does that help all along with the confidence and the belief from the results?
Yeah, it does. I think if you look at what we've done over the last few weeks, it breeds resilience. So we were resilient against Widnes. We had to be resilient again against Toulouse at the weekend, and I'm absolutely certain that at points within the game against Featherstone we'll need to be resilient as well. So we now know that we can be that team. We now know that we can dig in, and when times are tough we can get through collectively. And again, we will have to call on that at the weekend, but I trust this group of players to do that.
What can you tell us about the 21-man squad you'll be naming? Is there any omissions we need to be aware of after the game last weekend?
Yeah, so there's a late date to name, because of the Monday night, so we don't have to name it on the Friday when we normally do. So it gives us that little bit more time to have a look at some people. There's some guys making some first appearances of the season this evening in the reserves. Really delighted to see Billy Jowett in there after a long time out injured. That boy deserves to be on the field, and everybody connected with the club wishes him well tonight. Marcus Green's back from injury tonight. He'll play some reserves football as well, and then with a few bumps and bruises and things like that. So with a rough idea of 15 out of the 17, but the 21's yet to be decided.
I'm just going to touch upon the reserves. Obviously Lee Beattie is the head coach of the reserves this year. How important is that continuity from academy to reserves level? And you and Lee work very closely as well, so the whole club's on the same hymn sheet from bottom to top really. That'll only help the lads' progression, I'm sure. Yeah,
it's vital, and a big part of what Lee's job is to make sure the players transition smoothly. So the transition from academy football into reserves is a huge step, but then from the reserves to first grades, even bigger again. So it's all about making sure our players transition well. It's making sure that, like you said, they're on the same hymn sheet and they're all buying into what the collective is for the group. So so far so good. It's going really well, and long may it continue.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.